There are chapters in your life where you don't even realize how much God is building you until you look back and see the woman he was shaping the whole time. Hindsight is truly 2020. Today, we'll start our journey exploring the 20s of this wonderful series, Becoming Her, the evolution of a woman. Welcome to Queen's Quest, the show for anyone tired of waiting for things to happen and who's ready to start making them happen. Every week, we'll discuss actionable strategies to unlock your full potential and turn your ambitions into achievements, all with a spiritual foundation. The goal is to ignite the fire inside of you, to increase the passion for the journey you're on, and to breathe new life into what feels stuck. We'll close the gap between where you are and where you would like to be. I am your host, the Queen of Landry. Your future starts now. Today is a generational masterclass. We'll explore the unique blessings and challenges of your 20s, what to pursue, what to protect, and what to prune. Wherever you are not behind. God wastes nothing, and every season carries a specific assignment. Let's get into it. I do want to start off with a scripture. I thought it was so fitting. It's Ecclesiastes 3:1. For everything, there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. So for me, that meant that life consists of changes and cycles. It lets me know that cycles are temporary. So I should find contentment rather than trying to control every outcome. Ouch. Is anyone else out there like me? We want to ensure that everything works out well or works out like we planned it. But it is a season, and each season must run its course, no matter how much we try to rush it along. Think about it. The winter season, which we are currently in here in Kansas, they are calling for snow one day, sunshine the next day, but we still are in the winter season. And we will be until the season change. And that's just so crazy and powerful and wonderful all in one, how God created everything and he made the seasons where they can change in a minute. Winter will end March 20th, 2026 at 10:45 a.m. and spring will start March 20th, 2026 at 10:46 a.m. I wasn't planning on going in this direction, but what I do want to do is encourage you to listen to the seasons that you're in and trust God's plan for you in it. Understand that a plan means there's action on your part. This is not to change the outcome, but to do the work required during this season. So, whatever season that you find yourself in right now, one, acknowledge it, two, appreciate it, three, live in it. Okay, so let us jump into the first part. Know that your 20s is foundation and a lot of firsts. So we're going to look at different areas and how we approach that in our 20s and how we can prepare and plan for that and walk into that thing boldly, feeling like we know everything or feeling like that we know nothing. It's the place in between that is where growth occurs, where understanding takes place, and then where wisdom is built upon. So let's look at health. Building a relationship in your 20s with a primary care is very important. Going to the dentist with your health is important because your health matters. My niece, I'll give her a shout out. She is 21. She just had some dental work done. I was so proud of her because she understands the importance of her health in her 20s. Because guess what, ladies, we have one body. Okay. So you got to take care of that now to build upon that later on. Mental health also is another thing in health. Therapy isn't emergency care, it's a foundational care. Now, this was not a thing when I was in my 20s, right? It wasn't discussed as a culture, it wasn't discussed as a society as much as it is now. And I'm so grateful for that. So I'm glad that today mental health is not seen as a bad thing, but it is a welcome topic. Because it is, find a therapist if you need to. And I won't say if you need to, therapy is good, just like I said, for building foundational care, not as an emergency. Talking about those things to someone that has no judgment, no skin in the game, but that's truly there just to help you be your best person. And in your 20s, that's not a bad thing to do. You're not too young to start now. Yes, you can go sit on someone's couch and get healed. Starting early, that's what I'm saying, ladies. Start early. Now, what you eat. This is so funny because food is fuel. Learn staple meals you can make well. Now, understand, ladies, I am in my 40s. I am giving you knowledge and understanding, and maybe even areas where I lacked it, so you can be better than me, okay? I was not the perfect cook, but know that me and my brother did not starve. Side note, in my 20s, my brother and I lived together for like 6 years. Again, was not the best cook. However, I knew how to cook enough for us to get by. I could make some spaghetti. I knew how to make meatloaf. I love mashed potatoes, green beans. Like we're gonna eat. Hamburger helper most definitely was in rotation in my 20s. Ramen noodles in rotation in my 20s. And you can say, well, how can you mess that up? Well, for us, we used to add turkey meat into it. We would add hot dogs into it, cheese, hot sauce. Okay. Hey, it may not be a staple now, but in my 20s, ramen noodles was a staple. So look, y'all find y'all staple and don't judge me, okay? Decision making is big in your 20s because we're choosing from curiosity over perfection. Lean into that, right? You're collecting data, you're not trying to get a final grade. For me, that was traveling with my friends a lot. For me, that was going to my family and doing things to spur of the moment. Everything wasn't always planned out. I totally understand that some of you may be moms now in your 20s. Some of you may be caretakers in your 20s, whether it's elderly parents or grandparents who have raised you. So I understand that your decision making may be on a deeper level. However, when you can just go and make decisions because you're curious on things of that nature over always having everything planned out, as much as you can tap into that because you appreciate that in the early years. Just saying. Create a 24-hour pause rule for big choices. Now, this was big for me. I wasn't the spur of the moment type of big spender. You need to make sure you stop and think because when you're making big choices, they have a bigger impact, a longer impact, right? So it's different from like, should I buy this outfit or should I go out to eat with my friends, knowing that I have something due? It's bigger than that. It's like, am I going to purchase this car? Am I going to renew my lease or am I find somewhere else to live? Am I going to stay on campus or am I going to get an apartment? Or will I stay home at my parents' house or will I move out on my own? Like those were big decisions. So those are things you want to stop, think about. And I always say write things down because you want to make sure that you're making the right choices and we making big choices, doing the pros and cons. And you can write it down. You can put it on an app on your phone, but just when you're making big decisions, you want to stop, think about it, give it 24 hours. We don't want to make impulse or emotional decisions, especially with something that can impact us for a year or two down the line. Okay. Peers. This is a big one in your 20s. Choose friends who challenge your growth, not your character. Meaning, you don't have to change your morals and values to be friends with somebody. You shouldn't have to code switch with your friends. You should be able to be your authentic self with your friends. Okay? For me, I had a few friends, and all of them, of those few, I could be my authentic self with. I can be witty. I can be smart with it. I can come off the hip with my comebacks. I can make them laugh. I'm dependable. I'm somebody they can talk to. I'm someone that can listen to them. But I never had to code switch or felt like I had to be somebody else that I wasn't around them to fit in. So therefore, I didn't have to switch up. And in your 20s, you want to find that. And how do you find that? Be your authentic self, ladies. There's no need to change up unless hold on, let me say this, unless you are a backstabber, unless you are someone that lies on people. If that, then you need to rebuild some character and be around some ladies that have character. But other than that, if you're authentic self and you like to laugh, you like to joke, you like to plan, you like whatever your characteristics are, you have morals and values, you don't sleep around, you don't do drugs, you don't drink, whatever that is, stick to that. And then you're going to build the people around you, which goes to my next thing, have growth partner circles. What is that? One person that is the mentor, another person that's like an accountability partner, another person that's a prayer partner, another person that is a career partner. That means just pushing you to your career, and one that's like a friend, joy friend kind of partner. Your circle today will impact your opportunities tomorrow. And I'm telling you, ladies, this because I didn't have a circle of friends that was growth partners, right? And I want you guys to have growth partner circles because this will build you. This is foundation. And even if you don't have a partner for each thing that I named off, right? A mentor, accountability, prayer partner, career peer, or a joy friend is somebody I just let my hair down and we may only travel together. Even if you don't have all five, find most definitely a prayer partner and then maybe two more because you want to have that foundation and people around you, I'm telling you, they will help dictate your next move. And so you want those people to be pure and genuine and hold you accountable. This brings me to my next topic, which is goals. So set 90-day growth commitments instead of long-term pressure plans. Um, I know I've talked about in the past, like my mom had like my whole life kind of planned out for me. But once her and I had that conversation, I was able to step back and say, okay, where do you want to do in the next 90 days? Where do you see yourself at in the next 12 months? Do you know what I mean? Like break it down. Like if you're in college, you're focused on this semester, right? That's how you're focused on. Am I going to pass this class and how am I doing in my grades? You want to break that thing down. If your goal is to save money, focus on how will I save money in the next 90 days. You get what I'm saying? How to eat an elephant, one bite at a time. Break those big goals down into bite-sized pieces so it won't overwhelm you and it actually can feel obtainable. Like I can get there. I can do this. Break it down. And in your 20s is the best place to learn that. So then as you evolve, you're just adding on to the foundation. Oh, finances. So I feel like I've been financially responsible pretty much all my life. Um, I can say that in my 20s, it was no different, to be honest. Like having an emergency fund in my 20s, I had that, even if I was in college and had student loans. So I'm telling you this, like, yes, you can do it even in college. Any money that you earn in college, save 10% of that. That's for an emergency fund. That's not like, oh my God, I want these new pair of shoes. No, it's emergency fund that just what it stands for. It's I need to get home. I need to have my car fixed. It's an emergency fund. I know you can do it because I did it. Is it impossible? No. It's called discipline, ladies. You got it. Learn the basics of credit. It's never too early. I understand the importance of credit. You want to learn this early. If you don't have anybody around you that's talking about credit, the internet is so powerful. You get on there and how do I start building my credit right now? Because the things that you apply today in your life, especially with credit, is going to benefit you for the long haul. My dad used to say, cash is king. It is until you want to go purchase something that's big. Unless you have all the cash to purchase those big items, then you need to have some good credit. I'm just telling y'all. And not in the sense that you want to charge everything and get credit cards, not in that sense, but in the sense that when you want those big ticket items later on in your 20s or in your 30s or in your 40s, like houses and cars, and I want a loan for my business and things of that nature, your credit is going to be important and you can start that right now. Learn the basics of investing now. This will pay off in your 40s and in your 50s. Again, this is not something that was talked about when I was in my 20s, but oh, how I wish it was. I'm in the process of learning about investments. But for you listeners that's in your 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever age, you can start now. And I'm doing the same thing that I told you about credit. I'm looking online. I'm taking classes. I'm purchasing different materials so I can be better and have better understanding, have better wisdom on where I need to go and how to enter into this world of investment because I'm going to do it. I'm going to get there because it's important. And I know even if I'm starting in my 40s, it's not too late. It's going to benefit me in my 50s and in my 60s. Okay. Another big thing in your 20s is family. Hmm. Transitioning from your family's identity to your God given identity. Normally in your 20s, you're trying to find yourself. I'm going to tell you this, keep God as your foundation. If God was not talked about in your house, it's okay. You could take it upon yourself to start seeking and understanding who He is now. It's never too late to learn about God because it's very important. That is like when you talk about foundation, that is the foundation of foundations for me. And so, of course, I'm going to pass that on to you. Put the foundation of God into your life. Understand about Him, seek Him, pray to Him, read the Bible to better understand Him so you can grow your relationship in Him first. And all the other areas really that we're talking about, they're going to thrive because He's the blueprint. He gives us a blueprint in the Bible. Set boundaries in your 20s with your family and friends. Set healthy boundaries with love. If you set the boundaries with love, to me, you're then not responsible for how others responded, right? I know that's in your 20s. You want people to like you, or you may not say a lot because you don't want to rub people the wrong way, especially when you're dealing with elders. I know in my family, respect is very big. If you're coming from love, that's the important part. Come with love. And boundaries is a strength. Boundaries most definitely is a strength. It's not that you're trying to rebel. That's why we're coming with love. You're honoring yourself and respecting others all at the same time when you come out of love. Another big one in your 20s is careers. And I say it's big because you're still finding yourself and trying to build that foundation and that professional piece. Don't be afraid to negotiate salaries when your first job, and don't be afraid to ask for feedback and opportunities, even if it scares you. This will strengthen you in those areas, right? And then take notes with that feedback that they're giving you and then work towards that. I know in my 20s, I wasn't good at taking feedback. Okay. I wasn't good at asking questions on how can I grow, or, and that just wasn't me. And it wasn't because I didn't want to grow. It wasn't because um I was scared of it. I really just didn't know how to ask. It wasn't talked about. Like, you get a job, you get a career, you stay in it, and when they promote you, they promote you. But no, nope, nope, nope. What I have learned is that when you're building, especially in your professionalism, and you learn your worth and you know your worth, you advocate for your worth in your 20s, yes, because I'm talking to 20s, from 20s to 29. It's okay once you have that degree, once you have that experience on that job, once you have that certificate or that title in that specific field. Yeah, that's when you can start negotiating. And then no one's perfect. So asking for feedback, that's a good thing from management or your peers, or, people around you in the professional realm. This is how we grow. This is how we prune and we get better at it. And this is how we really win, right? And that's what we're here to do. We are here to win. So, ladies, if you haven't, and I didn't tell y'all this earlier, get your journals out. Okay. I have just a few questions I want you to write down. That's going to help you think. It's going to help push you to the next level. All of the things. Okay. Question one: what habit, if I built it now, would bless me in the next 10 years? I know that's a big one. What habit, if I built it now, would bless me in the next 10 years? Okay. Who are my 5 growth people? And do they know they are on my team? I told you, if you don't have 5 or you can't think of 5, then at least start with 3. The prayer partner being most definitely required. And the last question: what skill can I master in the next 90 days that my future self would thank me for? And when I say a skill they can master, I'm thinking of anything, whether it's how to cook a staple meal in the next 90 days, investigate more on my credit in the next 90 days. Like, think of something that you can master within the next 90 days, or at least to start in the next 90 days, that your future self would thank you. Now, I don't know what's been going on, but these affirmations have been showing up for me and showing out, and they really have been helpful for me. And so I'm passing them on to you because I am my sister's keeper. So, affirmation, repeat after me: I am not behind, I am in my season. My decisions are aligned with my destiny. My body is a temple, and I honor it with care. My money serves my mission. My voice builds other, and my future starts now. Girlfriends, we are evolving on purpose. If this episode blessed you, share it with your circle, tag me in it, share it with someone that's in their 20s or building the foundation or rebuilding a foundation. And we are going to grow together as we evolve. I am your host, the Queen of Landry, sending you peace, love, and favor. See you all next week.